Om. 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 Savitri, Book of Eternal Night, The Journey in Eternal Night and the Voice of the Darkness, page 582. A while, on the chill, dreadful edge of night, all stood as if a world were doomed to die, and waited on the eternal silence brink. Heaven leaned towards them like a cloudy brow of menace through the dim and voiceless hush, as thoughts stand mute on a despairing verge, where the last depths plunge into nothing, where glooms like shadowy wings. Behind them, pale, the lifeless evening was a dead man's gaze. Hungry beyond, the night desired her soul, but still in its lone niche of templed strength, motionless, her flame's bright spirit, mute, erect, burned like a torch fire from a windowed room, pointing against the darkness' sombre breast. The woman first affronted the abyss, daring to journey through the eternal night. Armored with light, she advanced a foot to plunge into the dread and hueless vacancy. Immortal, unappealed, her spirit faced the danger of the ruthless, eyeless waste. Against night's inky ground they stirred, molding mysterious motion on her human tread. A swimming action and a drifting march, like figures moving before eyelids closed. all as in dreams went slipping, gliding on. The rock gates' heavy walls were left behind, as if through passage of receding time, present and past into the timeless lapsed, arrested upon dim adventure's brink. Page 584. As disappears a golden lamp in gloom, borne into distance from the eye's desire, into the shadows vanished Savitri. There was no course, no path, no end or goal. Visionless she moved amid insensible gulfs, or drove through some great black unknowing waste, or whirled in a dumb eddy of meeting winds, assembled by the titan hands of chance. There was none with her in the dreadful vast. She saw no more the vague, tremendous God. Her eyes had lost their luminous Satyavan, yet not for this her spirit failed, but held more deeply than the bounded senses can, which grasp externally and find to lose its object loved. So, when on earth they lived, she had felt him straying through the glades, a scene in her, its clefts her being's vistas, opening their secrets to his search and joy. Because to jealous sweetness in a heart, whatever happy space his cherished feet preferred, must be at once her soul embracing his body, passioning dumbly to his tread. But now a silent gulf between them came and to abysmal loneliness she fell, even from herself cast out, from love remote. Long hours, since long it seems when sluggish time is measured by the throbs of the soul's pain, in an unreal darkness, empty and drear, she travelled, treading on the corpse of life, lost in a blindness of extinguished souls, solitary in the anguish of the void. She lived in spite of death. She conquered still. In vain her poisoned being was oppressed. A heavy long monotony of pain, tardily of its fierce self-torture tired, tardily of its fierce self-torture tired. At first a faint, inextinguishable gleam, pale but immortal, flickered in the gloom as if a memory came to spirits dead, a memory that wished to live again, dissolved from mind in nature's natal sleep. It wandered like a lost ray of the moon, revealing to the night her soul of dread. Serpentine in the gleam, the darkness lulled, its black hoods jeweled with the mystic glow. Its dull, sleek folds shrank back and coiled and slid, as though they felt all light a cruel pain, and suffered from the pale approach of hope. Night felt assailed her heavy sombre reign, the splendor of some bright eternity threatened with this faint beam of wandering truth, faint beam of wandering truth, her empire of the everlasting knot. Implacable in her intolerant strength and confident that she alone was true, she strove to stifle the frail, dangerous ray. Aware of an all-negating immensity, she reared a giant head of nothingness, her mouth of darkness swallowing all that is. She saw in herself the tenebrous absolute. But still the light prevailed, and still it grew, and Savitri to her lost self awoke. Her limbs refused the cold embrace of death. Her heartbeats triumphed in a grasp of pain. Her soul persisted, claiming for its joy the soul of the beloved now seen no more. Before her in the stillness of the world, once more she heard the treading of a god, and out of the dumb darkness Satyavan, her husband, grew into a luminous shade. Then a sound pealed through that dead monstrous realm, vast like the surge in a tired swimmer's ears, clamoring a fatal iron-hearted roar, death missioned to the night, his lethal call. This is my silent, dark immensity. This is the home of everlasting night. This is the secrecy of nothingness, entombing the vanity of life's desires. Hast thou beheld thy source, O transient heart, and known from what the dream thou art was made? In this stark sincerity of nude emptiness, hopest thou still always to last and love? The woman answered not. Her spirit refused the voice of night that knew and death that taught. In a beginningless infinity, through a soul's reaches unconfined she gazed. She saw the undying fountains of her life. She knew herself eternal without birth, but still opposing her with endless night, death, the dire god, inflicted on her eyes the immortal calm of his tremendous gaze. Although thou hast survived the unborn void, which never shall forgive while time endures, the primal violence that fashioned thought, the primal violence that fashioned thought, forcing the immobile vast to suffer and live. This sorrowful victory only hast thou won, to live for a little without Satyavan. What shall the ancient goddess give to thee, who helps thy heartbeats? Only she prolongs the nothing dreamed existence and delays with the labor of living thy eternal sleep. A fragile miracle of thinking clay, harmed with illusions, walked the child of time. To fill the void around he feels and dreads. The void he came from and to which he goes, he magnifies his self and names it God. He magnifies his self and names it God. He calls the heaven to help his suffering hopes. He sees above him with a longing heart, bare spaces more unconscious than himself that have not even his privilege of mind. And empty of all but their unreal blue, and peoples them with bright and merciful powers. For the sea roars around him, and earthquakes beneath his steps, and fire is at his doors, and death prowls baying through the woods of life. Moved by the presences with which he yearns, he offers in implacable shrines his soul and clothes all with the beauty of his dreams. The gods who watch the earth with sleepless eyes and guide its giant stumblings through the void have given to man the burden of his mind. In his unwilling heart they have lit their fires and sown in it incurable unrest. His mind is a hunter upon tracks unknown, amusing time with vain discovery. He deepens with thought the mystery of his fate and turns to song his laughter and his tears. His mortality vexing with the immortal's dreams, troubling his transience with the infinite's breath. They gave him hungers which no food can fill. He is the cattle of the shepherd gods, his body the tether with which he is tied. They cast for fodder grief and hope and joy. They cast for fodder grief and hope and joy. His pasture ground they have fenced with ignorance. His pasture ground they have fenced with ignorance. Into his fragile, undefended breast they have breathed a courage that is met by death. They have given her wisdom that is mocked by night. They have traced a journey that foresees no goal. Aimless man toils in an uncertain world, lulled by inconstant pauses of his pain, scourged like a beast by the infinite desire, bound to the chariot of the dreadful gods. But if thou still canst hope and still wouldst love, return to thy body's shell, thy tie to earth, and with thy heart's little remnants try to live. Hope not to win back to thee Satyavan. Yet, since thy strength deserves no trivial crown, gifts I can give to soothe thy wounded life. Gifts I can give to soothe thy wounded life. The pacts which transient beings make with fate, and the wayside sweetness earth-bound hearts would pluck. These, if thy will accepts, make freely thine. Choose a life's hope for thy deceiving price. As sees the ruthless and tremendous voice, unendingly there rose in Savitri, like moonlit ridges on a shuddering flood. A stir of thoughts out of some silence born, across the sea of a dumb, fathomless heart. At last she spoke. Her voice was heard by night. I bow not to thee, O huge mask of death, black lie of night to the cowed soul of man, unreal, inescapable end of things. Thou grim jest played with the immortal spirit. Conscious of immortality, I walk. Conscious of immortality, I walk. A victor spirit, conscious of my foes. A victor spirit, conscious of my foes. Not as a suppliant to thy gates I came. Unslain I have survived the clutch of night. My first strong grief moves not my seated mind. My unwept tears have turned to pearls of strength. I have transformed my ill-shaped brittle clay into the hardness of a statued soul. Now, in the wrestling of the splendid gods, my spirit shall be obstinate and strong against the vast refusal of the world. I stoop not with the subject mob of minds who run to glean with eager satisfied hands and pick from its mare mid many trampling feet its scornful small concessions to the weak. Mine is the labor of the battling gods, imposing on the slow reluctant years the flaming will that reigns beyond the stars. They law, they lay the law of mine on matter's works, and win the soul's wish from earth's inconscient force. First, I demand whatever Satyavan, my husband, waking in the forest charms out of his long, pure childhood's lonely dreams, desired and had not for his beautiful life. Give if thou must, or if thou canst, refuse. Death bowed his head in scornful cold assent. The builder of this dream-like earth for man, who has mocked with vanity all gifts he gave. Uplifting his disastrous voice he spoke, indulgent to the dreams my touch shall break. I yield to his blind father's longing heart, kingdom and power, and friends and greatness lost, and royal trappings for his peaceful age. The pallid palms of man's declining days, the silver decadent glories of life's fall. To one who wiser grew by adverse fate, goods I restore, the deluded soul prefers to impersonal nothingness, bare sublime. The sensuous solace of the light I give to eyes which could have found a larger realm, a deeper vision in their fathomless night. For that this man desired and asked in vain, while still he lived on earth and cherished hope. Back from the grandeur of my perilous realms, go mortal to thy small permitted sphere. Hasten, swift-footed, lest to slay thy life. The great laws thou hast violated, moved, open at last on thee their marble eyes. But Savitri answered that disdainful shade, World spirit, I was thy equal spirit born. My will too is a law, my strength a god. I am immortal in my mortality. I tremble not before the immobile gaze of the unchanging marble hierarchies that look with the stone eyes of law and fate. My soul can meet them with its living fire. My soul can meet them with its living fire. Out of thy shadow give me back again into earth's flowering spaces, Satyavan, in the sweet transiency of human limbs to do with him my spirit's burning will. I will bear with him the ancient mother's load. I will follow with him earth's path that leads to God. Else shall the eternal spaces open to me, while round us strange horizons far recede, travelling together the immense unknown. For I who have trod with him the tracks of time can meet behind his steps whatever night or unimaginable stupendous dawn breaks on our spirits in the untrod beyond. Wherever thou leadest a soul, I shall pursue, but to her claim opposed, implacable, insisting on the immutable decree, insisting on the immitigable law and the significance of created things. Out of the rolling wastes of night there came, born from the enigma of the unknowable depths, a voice of majesty and appalling scorn. As when the storm-haired Titan striding sea throws on a swimmer its tremendous laugh, remembering all the joy its waves have drowned, so from the darkness of the sovereign night, against the woman's boundless heart arose the almighty cry of universal death. Hast thou God wings, or feet that tread my stars? Frail creature with the courage that aspires, forgetting thy bounds of thought, thy mortal role? Their orbs were coiled before thy soul was formed. I, Death, created them out of my void. All things I have built in them and I destroy. I made the worlds my net, each joy a mesh, a hunger amorous of its suffering prey, life that devours my image see in things. Mortal, whose spirit is my wandering breath, whose transience was imagined by my smile, flee, clutching thy poor gains of thy trembling breast, pierced my pierced by my pangs, time shall not soon appease. Blind slave of my deaf force, whom I compel to sin that I may punish, to desire that I may scourge thee with despair and grief. and thou come bleeding to me at the last. Thy nothingness recognized, my greatness known. Turn, nor attempt forbidden happy fields meant for the souls that can obey my law, lest in these sombre shrines thy tread awake from their uneasy iron-hearted sleep the furies who avenge fulfilled desire. Tread lest in skies where passion hoped to live, the unknown's lightning start and terrified, lone, sobbing, hunted by the hounds of heaven, a wounded and forsaken soul thou flee through the long torture of the centuries. Nor many lives exhaust the tireless wrath hell cannot slake, nor heaven's mercy assuage. I will take from thee the black eternal grip, clasping in thy heart thy fate's exiguous dole. Depart in peace, if peace for man is just. I will take from thee the black eternal grip, clasping in thy heart thy fate's exiguous dole. Depart in peace, if peace for man is just. But Savitri answered, meeting scorn with scorn. But Savitri answered, meeting scorn with scorn, the mortal woman to the dreadful Lord. Who is this God imagined by thy night, contemptuously creating world's disdain? Who made for vanity the brilliant stars? Not he who has reared his temple in my thoughts, and made his sacred floor my human heart. My God is will and triumphs in his paths. My God is love, and sweetly suffers all. My God is love, and sweetly suffers all. To him I have offered hope for sacrifice, and gave my longings as a sacrament. To him I have offered hope for sacrifice, and gave my longings as a sacrament. சாவித்ரி மகாகாவிய சாரம் தமிழில் ஸ்ரீ MP பண்டிட் அவர்களின் பொழிப்புரை. சர்க்கம் 2. முடிவில்லா இரவில் பயணமும் அஞ்ஞான இருட்டின் தலைவனின் குரலும். அந்த இருண்ட இரவின் ஆரம்ப எல்லையில் அம்மூவரும் சிறிது நேரம் தயங்கி நிற்கின்றனர். அதற்கு பிறகு சாவித்ரி அந்த முடிவில்லா இரவினூடாக பயணம் செய்ய அடியெடுத்து வைக்கிறாள். இன்னதென்று விளங்காத ஒரு பேரச்சம் அவளை எல்லா பக்கங்களிலிருந்தும் சூழ்ந்து நெருக்குகிறது. சாவித்ரி அந்த இரவிற்குள் மறைந்து போகிறாள். அங்கே பாதை ஏதுமில்லை, பயண இலக்கு எதுவுமில்லை. இருந்த போதிலும் அவள் மேற்கொண்டு செல்கிறாள். யமதர்மராஜனும் சத்தியவானும் அவளுடைய பார்வையிலிருந்து மறைவுறுகின்றனர். ஆனால் அவள் மனம் தளரவில்லை. தொடர்ந்து வாழ்ந்து முன்னேறுகிறாள். மெல்ல ஒரு மங்கலான மெல்லிய ஒளிக்கற்றை தோன்றுகிறது. அது அந்த இரவின் ஒருவரையை மிக தெளிவாக காட்டுகிறது. ஒன்றுமில்லாமையின் ராட்சசத்திரம் அந்த ஒளியை அணைக்க முயற்சிக்கிறது. ராட்சத சிரம் அந்த ஒளியை அணைக்க முயற்சிக்கிறது. ஆனால் அதன் முயற்சி பலிக்கவில்லை. ஒளி வெல்கிறது. சாவித்ரியும் இழந்த தன் ஆன்மாவை திரும்பப் பெறுகிறாள். மறுபடியும் அவள் யமதர்மராஜனின் காலடி ஓசைகளை கேட்கிறாள். அந்த இருட்டில் சத்தியவான் ஒரு ஒளி மினுக்கிற அரையிருட்டாக தன்னை வெளிப்படுத்துகிறான். அப்பொழுது மரணதேவனுடைய சாகடிக்கிற குரல் ஒலிக்கிறது. இந்த இருண்ட இரவே, இந்த ஒன்றுமில்லாமையே அனைத்தினுடைய ஆதியும் அந்தமும் என அது வலியுறுத்துகிறது. அப்படி இருக்க இந்த முழுமையான வெறுமை நிலையில் வாழ்க்கைக்கோ அன்பிற்கோ இடம் எங்கேயுள்ளது என்று ஏனமாக கேட்கிறது. சாவித்ரி இதற்கு பதில் கூற மறுக்கிறாள். அவள் தன்னுடைய ஆன்மாவிற்குள் கூர்ந்து நோக்கி தான் சாஸ்வதமானவள் என்பதை அறிகிறாள். அப்பொழுது பேரிடர் பயக்க வல்ல மரணதேவன் முடிவே இல்லாத அந்த இரவை அஞ்ஞானத்தை கருவையாக கொண்டு அவளை எதிர்த்து கூறுகிறார். இந்த வெறும் பாழில் எஞ்சி பிழைத்து நீ ஒரு வெற்றியை பெற்றுள்ளாய். ஆனால் அதனால் என்ன பயன் கண்டாய்? சத்தியவான் இல்லாமல் நீ இன்னும் சிறிது காலமே வாழ முடியும். மனிதன் ஒரு அழிகின்ற உயிரினம். அவனை தன் இரையாக்கிக் கொள்ள மரணம் அவனை எல்லா திசைகளிலும் தேடி அலைகிறது. கடவுளர் மனம் எனும் சுமையை அவன் மீது சுமத்தி அவனுடைய இதயத்தில் தீரா பிணியான அமைதியின்மையின் விதையை தூவியுள்ளனர். அவன் ஆயர்குல தெய்வங்களின் கால்நடையாக உள்ளான். நீ இன்னமும் வாழ்ந்து காதலிக்க ஆர்வமுடன் விரும்பினால் பூமிக்கு திரும்பிப்போ. ஆனால் சத்தியவனை திரும்ப பெற முடியும் என்று எண்ணாதே. எனினும் உனது ஈடு இணையற்ற பலம் ஒரு பரீட்சைக்குரியது, ஒரு பரிசிற்குரியது. உனக்கு எது விருப்பமோ அதை கேள். வரமாக நான் அதை தருகிறேன். சாவித்ரி பதில் கூறுகிறாள். அஞ்ஞான இரவின் கொடிய பொய்யாக உள்ள சாஸ்வதமான இறைவனை இரக்கமின்றி எள்ளி நகையாடும் மரணதேவனே, உமக்கு ஒருபோதும் நான் தலை வணங்கேன். எனது சக்தியின் அமரத்துவத்தை நான் நன்கு அறிந்துள்ளேன். யாசகம் கேட்கும் ஒருத்தியாக நான் உமது வாயிற்படியில் நிற்கவில்லை. எனது உழைப்பாற்றல் போரிடும் கடவுளரின் உழைப்பாற்றல். வரம் தந்தேயாக வேண்டுமென்று நீர் கருதினால் சத்தியவான் அவருடைய குழந்தை பருவத்தில் விரும்பியது அனைத்தையும் தந்தருளுமாறு கேட்கிறேன். Prayer to Sri Aurobindo. To thee who has been the material envelope of our Master, to thee our infinite gratitude. Before thee who has worked, struggled, suffered, hoped, endured so much. Before thee who has willed all, attempted all, prepared, achieved all for us. Before thee we bow down and implore that we may never forget, even for a moment, all we owe to thee. Prayer to Mother India. O our Mother, O Soul of India, Mother who hast never forsaken thy children, even in the days of darkest depression, even when they turned away from thy voice, served other masters and denied thee. Now, when they have arisen and the light is on thy face, in this dawn of thy liberation, in this great hour we salute thee. Guide us so that the horizon of freedom opening before us may be also a horizon of true greatness and of thy true life in the community of the nations. Guide us so that we may be always on the side of great ideals and show to men thy true visage as a leader in the ways of spirit and a friend and helper of all the peoples. ஸ்ரீ அரவிந்த அன்னைக்கு பிரார்த்தனை. அன்னையே, இந்த சாவித்திரி பாராயணம் மூலம் ஆரோவிலிருந்து நாங்கள் அனைவரும் ஒன்று கூடி எழுப்பும் இந்த ஆர்வ கனலானது தங்களின் பாதுகாப்பும் ஒளியும் இன்பமும் சந்தோஷமும் எங்கள் வாழ்வில் திரும்பவும் மலர, சூழ்ந்திருக்கும் இருளெல்லாம் விலகி ஒளி பிழம்பாக எங்கள் மனம் தீப்பிழம்பாக ஜுவாலம் தங்களின் ஒளியினால் தூண்டப்பெற்று நாங்கள் அனைவரும் உங்களின் குழந்தைகளாக ஒளிர்விட்டு வாழ உங்களை பிரார்த்திக்கின்றோம். எங்களின் பிரார்த்தனையை தங்களின் பாதார விந்தங்களில் சரணாகதம் செய்கின்றோம் அன்னையே. Thank you, Mother. Let us be thy instrument. Thanks, everyone. See you at 9 o'clock for 9 series.